Investors United School of Real Estate today in Baltimore, Maryland, and they do still have that free class on
Tuesday nights at 6:30.
Tuesday nights at 6:30. So if you guys are interested in the real estate industry, you might want to come down and check that out.
Yeah, it was an excellent one-year program. Well, my first year here, I made about $300,000 buying and selling real estate.
Wow.
I bought some, I own some. I'm a landlord. I have quite a few rental properties. And a lot of properties I will just go out and write a contract on to purchase and then take straight to auction brokers, which is a subsidiary, of course, here of Investors United. So I was flipping a lot of properties. Now, there's nothing illegal about flipping.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay.
Since then, Charlie Parrish reminded me today that I've been here for about 3 years, and I've actually, with a new subdivision that I'm developing down in Virginia, I've probably made about $1.3 million in 3 years.
That is excellent.
And I couldn't spell real estate 3 years ago. I had no idea that you could buy or sell real estate without a realtor.
Now, what do you think about the market right now in the industry?
Well, it's good for some and it's bad for others. If you want to get into lucrative markets such as apartments, buying apartments, and hopefully you can do that with some private money rather than trying to go through mortgage companies or banks, because the credit crunch is terrible. I've been 4 months trying to get financing for a house I'm buying in Reston right now, and I still haven't.
And they've raised the credit score, and they're lowering the amount that they'll loan out, the loan-to-value ratios. Yeah.
So private money, if you're doing any big jobs, private money is the way to go, any big deals.
And that's for apartment buildings.
Yeah, apartment buildings. Now is a good time to buy houses and to buy property, because we haven't hit the bottom yet, and we're still the market. The market is still falling, and I think it's going to fall for a while more. But that's always good. However, here again, you have problem with financing at this time. Best to see if you can get owner financing or subject to properties where you don't have to put a lot of money down, and the owner will finance the purchase.
Because I know they have the FSBO.com for sale by owner.
Yeah,
that seems to be like a huge search engine right now.
Sure.
That's coming up all over the place. For people who don't know, it's where people who own their own houses and they are selling their own houses. It's on a website that you can go and trade and buy with people who are looking to buy properties, and they're being sold by the owners. A lot of people who are for sale by owners like that, they are reluctant to pay the realtors' fees out there right now. Right. Because realtors make a lot of money on selling or purchasing houses for another buyer. So another good area right now, most investors right now are buying and holding. Buying properties that need some work, doing some rehab on it, and then putting a tenant in there and holding it until the market turns around. And then when the market starts coming back up, if they still don't want to be a landlord, and or if their cash flow isn't high enough for that particular property or their group of properties, then they can sell them later on when the market comes up. Another good thing right now to do is when you have properties like that, rather than just renting them, we can do what we call lease options. That's where you can sell an option of someone who has bad credit to move into your house, and they may be good people and something happened to them. Maybe they went out of business or something like that, or they had big medical bills, and they don't have the good credit they need to get financing, but they make a lot of money and they can pay the rent on time. Well, they will take a lease option because credit is not the problem there. And then you can rent these properties to them on a lease option. They become the tenant and the owner until they take their option. So once they pay the money back and pay the lease off.
Exactly. So then you have a maintenance-free lease there, or a tenant who's taking care of your property and paying you on time. Obviously, the more you can do this, and if you can get owner financing by subject twos, you can build a pretty good inventory of property, and you can build a very good positive passive cash flow, where you have money coming in over and above all your expenses every month. So there's a lot of ways to make good money in real estate now. I mentioned before I'm doing a subdivision down in Virginia, Charles City, Virginia, and the housing market, everybody's saying don't build, but I'm not going to be building. I'm going to be putting modular homes on all of the lots on my subdivision, and I'm in a market where there isn't a housing problem right now. In fact, they need housing. The county is looking for it. The planning board is okayed it all. And so we are 15 minutes away from Williamsburg, and we're going to be able to sell our properties, for about $100,000 less.
Williamsburg is never going away.
No, and Virginia is a different market than here in Baltimore.
Now let me ask you, you said to go back on the houses, you think it's good for people to purchase homes now?
Yes, it is.
What about the people who have the houses that are losing the houses?
Well, they're the ones who are going to have to make a decision. They're going to either have to, sell the house by themselves at a loss, but a lot of people are upside down in their mortgage and they can't do that.
Yes, they can't get out of the mortgage.
That's right,
Yeah.
and they can't get the money to get caught up. They don't have the money to purchase the house or to continue paying their high mortgage every month.
So what do they do?
Well, they're kind of stuck sometimes between a hard spot. Hopefully there'll be some governmental help for them soon in the future. They've been talking about that.
Well, actually there is. There's a program called lenderloan.com.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yes, President Bush, there I said it, actually, hey, I love the Bush family, actually has designed a program that is supposed to bail out these people who are having problems with foreclosed homes.
Well, a lot of people, I have a nephew who himself got involved in some predatory lending during the boom, and he had to foreclose on 4 properties. And that's too bad because a lot of people were caught in that predatory lending. They have no hope. They're gonna have to go into bankruptcy and go through foreclosure because the value of their home simply isn't enough to pay the mortgage
and get out of the loan. Well, that's the other question that I wonder.
Yeah.
If you're never going to take your house, why don't you file bankruptcy? I don't understand.
Well, that's true. Now, the banks do sometimes take what they call a short sale.
Right.
And that is if you can
because it benefits them.
If you can find a buyer who will pay an amount that the bank will accept, and that could be sometimes as much as 35% below.
Yes, and you still end up owing the bank, and they still walk away.
Yeah, it's still a foreclosure. It still goes on your credit. It's not good.
Does it?
But at least you're out of the house.
Does it still go on your credit if you?
A short sale? Yeah, it's not the best thing to do.
So a short sale is on your credit as a foreclosure?
No, it shows up adversely. I'm not sure exactly how it shows up. It does show up adversely because what you're actually doing is you're paying a discount on your mortgage, or you're not. You still are behind in your mortgage and you still didn't pay it.
Right, so it shows up negatively as far as you're concerned.
Here in Maryland, if you're a realtor or an auctioneer or a foreclosure counselor, those are the people that the people in foreclosure want to do short sales should be talking to because they can try to find buyers for you quickly, and at least that gets you. Doesn't show up as a foreclosure. It's still not good for your credit, but if you can get out from underneath all of that quickly and the bank will accept it, then you're in better shape. Yeah.
All right. FCC's lowers the interest rate. Is that helping us?
It helps us with loans and such that are attached to that, like HELOC loans. If you have home.
What's a HELOC loan?
I'm trying.
That's okay. We'll come back to that.
A home equity loan from the bank. You can get money from your bank to make renovations, to buy a new car, take a vacation, or something like that. But those HELOC loans are directly related to the prime rate. And if the prime rate goes down, then of course your interest goes down as well because you're usually paying maybe 1% over prime or something like that. So when prime goes down, your monthly interest rate goes down.